Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get into it, man. Episode 304, man, with the Brudgeon co-host. You already know. Yay. Back for another banger, all right? Like, share, and subscribe to the Faison View Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe to the Faison View Podcast. And at follow, we are Game Shift. Man, let's lock in. Let's get right into it. We are nothing but short of no topics, man. We got all the topics today, man. We got some interesting takes, and we're going to get into a new fun game on the show, all right? So this episode, Primetime Takeover, we're going to get right into it, man. The agenda, Deion Sanders, man, he left JSU to take the head coaching job at Colorado University. A lot of people have their doubts about it. A lot of people have their pros about it. So we're gonna break that down. Question of the day, man. Somebody tweeted this, and it went viral. All right, is Bob Marley a bigger figure and better than it was bigger figure than Michael Jackson. To be specific. All right, and you got to be, and that's what I'm saying. You got to be specific when you say something. And
she's Jamaican, I get it.
And it's just like, yeah, correct. So we're gonna get into it. All right, LeBron James and Jay Williams. All right, call out media for not making a big deal about the Jerry Jones situation, but you know they was talking a lot down about Kyrie. So we're gonna get into that, man, and we're gonna get into a fun new topic, man. My brother brought to the table, man. We're gonna talk about the greatest of all time albums draft. All right, we're gonna do a simple draft, okay? And we're gonna continue this on with the show, man. We're just gonna do random drafts of different categories, different topics, all right? And lastly, the infamous would you rather, all right? Would you rather, all right? So let's get right into it, man. Deion Sanders, man. Hey, after 2 SWAC championships, all right, 3 years at the university, 27-5, all right. He takes his talents to Colorado University. Of course, everybody's up in arms. Man, first and foremost, let's get right into it. This is Deion Sanders. This is prime time. This is one of the greatest cornerback ever, one of the greatest athletes ever, and one of the greatest figures ever.
Yep.
So, initially, this is Deion Sanders we talking about.
Yeah.
And what upsets me initially, bro, let's go down the list of the things that he sought out and actually did at JSU. For those who sitting there saying that, it's more cons than pros. It's way more pros than cons.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go down the list, man. So while he was there, like I said, he has 2 SWAC championships. He's been there 2.5 years. Okay, he had two practice field, 2 new practice fields, new locker room, new football facility, new training facility. Ushered in a 10-year TV rights deal with the HBCU of Jackson State last year. And
try to get the water fixed.
Getting the city fixed. All right, brought awareness to issues at Jackson State and Jackson the city, and new uniforms, Walmart, everything. So my thing is, if you're sitting on the couch and you're so conflicted and you're so upset about what Deion Sanders did, what change have you made?
Exactly.
What change have you made? Because you're sitting on the couch talking about somebody who has already proven this is Deion Sanders. And I understand how people can feel like, okay, well, he committed here. He told my children this. He told my family this. He told the parents this. I can understand, and that's prayers for them as well too. But guess what? He gave you guys the blueprint, bro. He gave you guys the blueprint to go further. And guess what? And for anybody to have opinions and where's everybody else that is of his figure and his stature doing the things that he's doing? He didn't have to come. He could have got any job, bro. Let's keep it a bean. He could have got any job. He didn't have to go up to the HBCUs and reach down. Exactly. But also he did, and he brought them up. And what it was going on, seeing you is that
he could have went and just been content with what was there.
Correct. And what's going on, seeing you is that and I respect him for even talking and coming out about it and being front, because you got a lot of coaches that just were like, take that hush money, I'm out of here, I won't say nothing. He was actually in the media and the press talking about it, and also he got his son to come with him. He also now has 200 people plus and counting each day going into the transfer portal. So he is going to bring another change.
Coaches, there's going to be millionaires.
Assistant coaches,
black men
who are assistant coaches. We're not talking about that. So I understand that he may have hurt a few, hurt some people because his impact is so big, and he is Deion Sanders. But also, let's respect what he actually did there when he was there, bro. Let's respect and talk about that. And guess what? The same people that's being naysayers and not liking his decision are going to be the same people tuning in Colorado every Saturday now. When they broadcast about 7 to 8 times now.
Yep.
So I can understand how people be frustrated, and he said this and he promised that. He actually did. Yeah, he succeeded in his mission. And behind the closed doors, it was a lot of things that wasn't going unsaid. He was just on the podcast and he spoke about Deion Sanders. He spoke about how he was bringing 60,000 people in, and also bringing viewers in, but we was only seeing a certain amount when that money got back.
Because of the contracts
and certain contracts.
There's a lot of money that was going, from what I'm hearing, there was a lot of money that wasn't going where it was supposed to go. And all those things that you hear, he even did some new things that I saw on video right before he's getting ready to leave. Mm-hmm. He hooked them up again.
Correct.
But all those things you're talking about, the school didn't do any of those things. Half of that salary,
absolutely,
half of his salary was, he used
invested
to do those
in
things.
The school.
He paid for all those things. He leveraged his relationships with Michael Strahan, with Walmart, and American Airlines. He did all those things.
Correct.
And Deion said his goal is to, is to impact people, young men. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to go where God calls me. But at the same time, he said on 60 Minutes, if a Power 5 school, calls an opportunity, we have to entertain it. Because we sit here and talk about how there's, he said coaches either get fired or elevated.
Correct.
That's it. That's the only thing that happens.
And then
we sit here and talk about how black coaches don't get the opportunities in Power 5 schools. They get fired but not rehired. And now here we got one. You can't get mad at him taking opportunity.
And then the bigger picture, he's bringing the people along with him, such as his son, such as a Travis Hunter, and giving them the look they actually deserve to actually make it in the league. So he's helping not only just his sons, but he's also helping a community of young black brothers and trying to get them into these schools so they can go into college. And not saying that they can't get into college from an HBCU, but also he did shine the light on the HBCUs. He set contracts up. He set everything up, bro. He set everything up for them to take the blueprint and go further with it.
And now there's a saying that there's a report that they may not let him coach this last game, and he's fighting to do that. So he's like, I want to finish what I started. I'm not gonna just bail on my team. We won 12. No, we got one more game. Mm-hmm. I'm here until I'm not. These are my kids.
And my thing is,
we
don't talk about other races or other ethnicities. In our situation, what's more disheartening is what's more disheartening is our own people going against us.
But we always
that's the problem, though.
When people get it, when people in our community reach a certain light, initially there's a lot of hate that comes.
It's some hate.
All of a sudden, Kevin Hart's not funny.
Right.
All of a sudden, Michael B. Jordan can't act.
Facts.
And it's like, where was this before when he was just here? But now that he's here, now we want to
pull him back down.
And I hate stuff like that.
I hate it.
But it's like, Deion, he said it himself. He's like, my calling is for young men, and but I want to bring change, and he did all of that. He did everything he said he was going to do. He brought change.
Correct.
And he impacted so many people's lives there, and and that school, the state of Mississippi itself. He brought college football game day there.
Game day. Unprecedented, bro.
Before
they came there, they could barely afford all the weights in the weight room.
Yeah, people acting like he exploited black men.
That's real talk.
He exploited young black men and then took off.
Absolutely
You know how many coaches do that? He didn't do any of that.
He brought a light to the HBCUs.
He had to deal with Nick Saban hating on him and all that. Like, come on, man.
And that's another a problem I have is that he shined the light on HBCUs. At his stature, he didn't have to do that, and I love him for that. Because he did that. You can't take that away from him.
I want to defend Shannon Sharp real quick because I don't understand people's hate for what he said recently.
Correct. I agree too.
No, he said, hey, I went to an HBCU.
Correct.
And I'm grateful, but it wasn't my first choice. If I had the grades, I would have went somewhere else. And people took that as him poo-pooing on his HBCU.
Right.
Like, no,
that's not true.
He ain't the only athlete that if they could have went somewhere else, they would have went somewhere else. If he could have gone somewhere else to better his situation to get to the NFL, which at the time wasn't an HBCU, he would have went. Mm-hmm. He ain't the first person. He ain't the last person to do that. It's what he had to do. It worked out for him. Mm-hmm. But if he could have did something else, he would have did something else.
In fact,
nothing wrong with saying it's not saying you're not grateful for the school.
And what's frustrating, it's somebody's opinion that's actually been there and done it and been in real time.
You have to do what's best for you.
Facts.
Around that time, trying to go to the NFL through an HBCU was not the best blueprint to go, but it's what he had. So he did it, but if he had put himself in a position to go somewhere else, because he had other schools,
Correct.
then yeah, he would have picked those schools.
Correct.
Because those schools would have got me. I was trying to get to the NFL to take care of my grandma.
Correct.
I did that, but these schools at the time would have helped me do it better.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Every time a black person has a success and is doing certain things, doesn't mean or make him a sellout.
Yeah,
like
people talk about he doing it for money.
And that's
y'all leave jobs for $2 more.
That's the bad thing about internet.
Deion was going to?
That's what I'm saying. That's the bad thing about the internet, because it's just like, dag, you throwing your perception out there, and you on the couch. What are you doing moving us forward? Come on now, like let's be real.
Even if it was about money, so like what's
right?
wrong
I mean,
like especially with him doing, like, he was giving half his money to the school.
Correct.
So if he wants to leave and make more money, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially with regular folks leave jobs for $2 more. Like,
but guess what? And guess what?
Even
to that point, but to piggyback off of that, it's Deion Sanders. He can get a 5, 10, 15, $20 million deal just cause off of credibility of his name.
Deion was making money.
It's not about before
Deion,
all of this.
Deion had NFL
must
money.
be the money.
Deion had NFL money.
Like,
he was making money on
doing
TV with the NFL doing the analyst thing.
He actually changed.
He was making money doing that while coaching.
He changed the HBCUs
while
for the
coaching
best.
his high school that he founded.
Mm-hmm.
Then like Deion was already making money. He left broadcasting to go do this.
Correct.
Like, he was on TV every day.
So to your point, let's just congratulate him.
You gotta go
for
support him in Colorado,
and go
man.
support him, because anyway, y'all still gonna do that. Y'all still gonna tune in.
You gotta support.
You know, we're not saying that.
Because what they're gonna do when he gets up there. You know what happens when we get black coaches in these positions. They have to go 13-0.
But guess what? Hugh, we always talk about putting black coaches in these positions.
Yeah.
So now
I'm saying,
black coach in this position.
Is when they get there, now they have to work. They don't get the certain excuses that white coaches would give.
Correct.
A white coach could go 2 years and not make the playoffs or whatever and still have a job. But black coaches, you dang near gotta go 13-0 or within 2 years, or you're gonna lose your job. So the pressure's gonna be on him at Power 5. So you definitely gotta support him. You gonna want him to see him do well.
And it's just boil you down.
They're already gonna look like the Dolphins coach. Head coach, they got fired. They wanted there was no reason for that dude to get fired. But because he was a black man, they expected all of these different things that they wouldn't have expected from
But what I'm saying
else.
to you is that if that was to happen to Prime, people be in an uproar. People just pick and choose.
Yeah,
they just pick and choose, bro.
Man,
that's what it come down to. Pick and choose. But man, shout out to Deion, man. Shout out to Jackson State, for real. Shout out to everybody.
Go get that 13-0. They lost championship.
Absolutely, but
last year.
Hey,
so
two SWAC championships, man. Come on. All right, so let's get into this, man. All right, it's funny because me and my uncle argued this like a while back, and of course it surfaced again. So question of the day, man, it was a tweet that went viral, and it stated Bob Marley is a bigger figure than Michael Jackson, and people was in an uproar. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in an uproar when I hear Michael Jackson's name. Like, all right, stop mentioning Mike, but also Bob,
because she's Jamaican.
But Bob Marley is also a universally amazing talent.
She's Jamaican. And in Jamaica, obviously, to her,
correct.
Bob Marley meant more to her than Michael Jackson probably ever did. So I get it.
We get it. But I'm just being, if we being real, and it's crazy that we always gotta put them against each other and put people against each other, because these are legends. It shouldn't be a pick, but I'm just being honest with you. Nobody, in my opinion, was a bigger figure than Michael Jackson.
Man, people was out
the
here.
aura of Michael Jackson
Were fainting
is different.
The very sight of Michael Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just culturally within his culture, bro. He was international. Bro, Michael Jackson can go anywhere and bring any type of crowd. And not saying Bob Marley couldn't, because Bob Marley is a legend, icon. Both of the icons. I don't like comparing the two, but if we being real and honest,
Michael Jackson invented music videos.
Michael Jackson, just the aura of Michael Jackson is just different. You know what I'm saying? You're making grown people faint, bro.
Like grown men faint.
You know what I'm saying?
It
was just different. It's a different
aura. He was in a hotel room, and there was a sea of people outside of it. He wasn't doing nothing special. He was just in the hotel room. He was just there, and people it was like a sea of people. It looked like Woodstock, just to see Michael,
bro. It's just a different. It's just a different type of aspect, and not to say Bob Marley isn't. That's why I say it's kind of. I don't like having these type of conversations because it kind of like trying to discredit the other. But Bob Marley is a icon. Don't get it twisted. But Michael Jackson, like, I don't think it's just me. I don't think it was a bigger figure or more popular person than Michael Jackson ever. Yeah. Like I'm being honest. Like you can name anybody. I'm talking about ever.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think anyone
ever, bro.
There's Michael.
Like for real, it's not even like close. Like when you even think about all the Michaels, you think about the Jordan, Mike Tyson, and those are icons, and then Jordan. But he wasn't superior than Michael Jackson.
Really, even. Like,
bro,
and Michael Jordan was uber famous. They don't.
Facts. And he still is. Like, still is, but he's not.
But he wasn't Michael. He wasn't Michael Jackson.
And I'm not trying to say it in that way, but like, no matter what race or ethnicity you are, you have heard Michael Jackson in some capacity in your lifetime. And honestly, in our culture, I don't know about other cultures, but I'm sure we're kind of grown up on Michael Jackson. And it's like instant, and it's like instant. It's like you didn't even know, and it's crazy because I caught Kyrie young, like 2, 3. He's never heard of this, and he was just singing Michael Jackson. It was just like he already knew. It's like it's embedded in. I'm like, bro, his music, his impact, he's just different.
They be trying to compare
different. I'm sorry.
Michael Jackson. I was like, fan,
no,
I
go to
Germany right now and play that person's song. They're not gonna know who that is. I can play Thriller though.
Anywhere.
I can play Bad. And they gonna start singing in German.
You play any song.
I can play Thriller.
Any song, bro. But y'all let us know. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to compare the two, but who do you think is the bigger figure? All right, Bob Marley or Michael Jackson? My uncle gonna have a lot to say about this because he loves Bob Marley, and I love Bob Marley too. Don't get it twisted because what he did, and the impact he had, and what he stood for, and how talented he was. Come on now, but.
That Legend
album. We just talking about big. We talking about bigger figure.
Has been one of the albums that's been argued as the greatest album of all time.
Correct.
But then again, Thriller has also
so
been
it's like
the greatest.
It's like comparing these two is just like apples and oranges, man. So man, moving on to a little bit of a serious note, man. LeBron James and Jay Williams call out media for not making a big deal about this Jerry Jones racist research photo. You know they've been in the tabloids. You know how they do us in the media. And how they come, just like we just said about the coaches, about a lot of things, especially this Deion Sanders situation. It shows you right up front, you know, the controversy he could bring just for doing something good. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? For doing something good. And then this happens, and it's not saying it's much a surprise to a lot of people, but why is that not being talked about enough?
I'll say this. The Jerry Jones thing, one, it shouldn't have been a thing because, one, again, when he was 14, 2, at that time, who wasn't racist when they were white at that time? So it shouldn't have been a shock. I'm like, dude's 78 now. Like, I'm not about to sit here and care about him being racist at 14. But the problem is that you didn't talk about it. But when it's something about us,
correct,
it's always like,
absolutely.
But you avoided this. That's the issue at hand.
And then
it shouldn't be an issue.
And to LeBron's point,
because of everything else, you need to bring this up.
And to LeBron's point, you didn't ask him no scathing questions.
You didn't ask me anything.
And you didn't ask him no scathing questions. I'm talking about Jerry Jones. You didn't go into depth about no questions and going in. And then when he was asked, he avoided the question. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like you didn't even.
It's the premise behind it.
You didn't even bring it up, but you bring up everything else. Normally, I wouldn't even care about this, but it's the fact that you were so adamant about these things. Brought up
Kyrie, wanted me to go against my own people instantly.
We're talking about all of these different things, you know, Deion and whatever, more than we're talking about this Jerry Jones situation, more than we're talking about Brett Favre, the way we're doing Ime Udoka. I'm not condoning what he did, but that should not have been in the news the way it was. Yep. Way more than Brett Favre stealing from poor people.
Correct.
You know, poor white people.
At that.
The very state that freaking Deion was coaching in. Wasn't it Mississippi? Like, you know, so it's like we talk about everything else more than that. So, you know, for me, I wasn't going to care. I was like, okay, Jerry Jones was racist back in the 50s. Big shock, right? But I get LeBron. I get LeBron's
it's
point.
The premise.
Like, y'all didn't even bring it up. But y'all brought everything else up.
This is ridiculous.
That's wild.
It is. It really is. And shout out to Jay Williams because he made some very valid points also on the show that he's on ESPN and also on the Pivot podcast. He made some great points and he talked about really it's just all about in a general sense, bro. It's about honestly a lot of equity. You know what I'm saying? Having the same playing field and equal. Because if we're gonna play that, then let's talk about these things. And then when a black man is trying to bring knowledge to something or just trying to speak out, it's shut up and dribble. You feel me? Like it's a double-edged sword. You don't really know what side to move on or what to do. So absolutely, man. So man, shout out to LeBron and Jay Williams, man, for real. All right, so let's get to this draft. Let's get to the fun part. All right, so let's get to this draft. Go ahead, explain this.
The rules is this is the draft. Doing 5 picks. It's an album draft. Any album you want from any time period except Michael Jackson. We are not. Neither one of us are allowed to take Michael Jackson albums. So we're going 5 picks. So we're gonna go one at a time. Obviously, you know how a draft works. You know, you pick something, and it's off the board. So
all right, so we should
let you get first pick.
No, we should do rock paper scissors shoot real quick. Just one round. All right, and then we'll see who go first, and we go from there.
Right.
Ready? Rock paper scissors. All right, Hugh.
Cool.
First pick.
First pick. Give me "Songs in the Key of Life" by Stevie Wonder.
Okay, I like that. All right, first, give me "The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill."
Ooh.
All right. What you got? Number 2.
I gotta think.
Draft. All right. You see that first. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I stumped him real quick.
Yeah, because I didn't know you were gonna take that first.
Nah, I stumped him. Now you gonna pull out Stevie Wonder, so come on, let's go.
Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna do that first.
Let's go, come on. We in the game now.
All right, give me "Anti" by Rihanna.
Ooh, that's a good one. All right, give me Carter 3 by Wayne.
Okay, I knew that was coming at some point.
Carter 3 by Wayne. Come on now.
Okay.
All right.
Give me third pick. Gotta get some right. Give me "Illmatic."
Okay.
There you go. Give me "Illmatic."
All right.
The greatest rap album ever.
Illmatic.
Rap in there. Yeah. There we go.
Because he did Anti before, which shook it up a little bit, I'm gonna go Take Care.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna go Take Care, y'all.
4.
I'm gonna go Take Care. All right. We're gonna have a little bit of R&B, a little bit of rap. You know what I'm saying?
Give me Chris Brown. The first album, Chris Brown.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Give me Chris
Sleeping.
Brown.
Oh, so since he did that, he shouldn't have did it, y'all. He shouldn't have did it. Watch this, y'all. Give me Confessions by Usher.
Okay.
That's my 4th.
All right, last pick.
Last pick.
I gotta come out. I gotta come in strong. I gotta finish strong.
Let's see what you say.
Pick. Give me "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy."
Okay. Give me, since you said that, and they had a little, beef back then. Give me "Get Rich or Die Trying."
Okay.
50 Cent.
I like my list.
All right. We about to see.
All right, so that's my list.
All right, so this is my list. All right.
So we gonna let y'all decide.
All right, Team Black over here.
Man, come on now.
Come on now. What's up? Come
I
on.
have a well-rounded
Come on
list.
now. This is a well-rounded list. I don't know if you beating this one. I don't know. That's good. That's a great list, though. That's a great list, though.
You got a great list, too. I like my list. I think
It's a great list. I like your list, too, because I ain't going to lie. This iconic versus iconic. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, Carter 3, Take Care, Confessions, Get Rich or Die Trying.
We got some hip-hop. We got some R&B. We got some back in the day. We got some a little back in the day. We got some present day.
I threw him off with the first one, y'all. I threw him off with the Miseducation.
I still like my first round pick.
All right.
But I didn't expect you to go rap off rip.
We had to go rap. And that's kind of rap neo soul. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't expect that to off,
for sure.
Off rip. Especially when I said Stevie Wonder, I was expecting like Prince or James Brown to come after that.
Nah, that's good. That's good. I'm going to level it out. So y'all let us know, man. Team Black, Team Blue. All right. Let us know. Either your boy Elite Ghost or Hugh in the building, all right? So that was a good one, man. And we will continue that, man. We'll do a draft for different categories, whether that be food, whether that be cars, etc., all right? So that's a good one. I like that segue, all right? So let's get into this one, all right? The infamous, would you rather? Would you rather have a golden voice or a golden personality?
What you mean by voice? Like singing voice?
Like voice, yep. Like singing voice.
Give me the voice.
Like
I'm feeling my personality is already... You know, I don't have a bad personality.
Of course.
I would love to be able to sing though.
But
that can lead. That can
golden voice,
so many
bro.
things.
Golden voice.
Yeah, give me the
but
voice.
I would say, like to play devil advocate, I got golden voice for sure because I always want to know how to sing. But personality, that can take you places. Because even though we feel like we have good personalities, we probably, you know, like in every room, we probably not the most. And you don't have to be the most standout person, but like great personality can take you further. A golden personality, you know what I'm saying? So because it's all about connections, all about who you know, not what you know, who you connect with. So a personality is actually, honestly, a very great trait to have for real. Because you can have, because as you can see, you can be an R&B artist or have a voice and not have a good personality.
You can be a trash person.
Right. Because we see it with a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people sing great, but they're trash in real life.
Correct. So I don't know. That is actually a tough question.
I'm not trash. So I was like,
yeah, me too. I think so too. I golden voice. I def go golden voice, man. So real quick before we go, who is your, since we said golden voice, who's your favorite singer?
For voice or just period?
Just voice, and I would say, yeah, it's two different things, but period. I would say singer in general.
Period. I have a tie between Stevie Wonder and Chris Brown.
Okay. Voice.
Two people I'm glad I've seen live.
That's tough. I'm gonna say honestly, I'm gonna say Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson.
You know about voice, I gotta go. My favorite voice, I'm not gonna lie.
And voices, that's tough.
I think my favorite voice might be John Legend.
And
John
it's crazy.
Legend has a great voice.
Mine might be, because we grew up on this R&B. Alicia Keys.
Voice. He has a great.
Alicia Keys.
Voice. I mean, it's the best voice, but John Legend has a very great, like Chris does too, but like his voice is really great. It's very unique. Like certain songs just sound great with John Legend. Like you heard him on the Metro album.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's a fact.
Him and Rick Ross.
Ain't no discredit in him.
John Legend just has one of the most. You know him when you hear him.
I have a sleeper.
Like, you know him when you hear him.
I have a sleeper. I got two sleepers. One I should have named the GOAT, Mary J, because voice timeless. But I think one of the greatest voices for real is T-Pain.
It's T-Pain.
It's T-Pain, and it goes very much so like unmentioned. For real.
T-Pain
underrated because he uses autotune, but he sings better than the autotune. Voice. All right.
Yo, speaking of voices,
I like
you know who I found out had a voice recently? Like I did not know that because I watched his performance on The Mask. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
I never watched it, but I saw clips online. I was like, wait, Jesse McCartney.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but Jesse McCartney
back in
the day, like all his songs when I was in middle school were like these little soft joys, like Beautiful Soul. So I didn't know he did "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. Yo, I was like, yo, who Jesse McCartney had pipes like this?
Facts.
Like that just shows you how a label can market you. They marketed him for his voice, I mean for his looks.
Not his voice.
I was like, I had no idea this dude had pipes. You gotta look that up. I had no idea he could sing like that.
It's a lot of legendary voices for real. Because you got Jennifer Hudson, Jasmine Sullivan.
Hudson is like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Beyonce has a great voice.
Yeah, we can mention a lot of people. So y'all let us know, man. Would you rather have a golden voice or golden personality, man? You already know another amazing episode of the Faison View podcast, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Merry Christmas.
Share, subscribe. And you already know, man. Happy holidays. We out here.